All right, let's put together some dumbbells. Mike Woods. Mike Woods, how's it going? I'm running a little late, and I got quite a busy day ahead of me tomorrow. I've got an injured knee. I'm actually wearing my knee sleeve right now. My knee isn't so painful that I can't wear it right now. You're about to head on the road. But yeah, I haven't been able to do leg days in, I don't know, has it been 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks? And I'm going crazy. But I've been doing a lot more chest days, and I can really feel my chest. I can make it balance and stuff easy and normal, and so I've been bench pressing heavy. As I come, I can feel it squeeze really easy. Oh. But I feel like having a good workout today, so I'm actually gonna do more than just like a little dumbbell arm routine today. But I'm gonna start with that to warm up. Feel like putting a little bit more energy into my home workout today. I just don't have a lot of time. Yeah, doctor gave me about another like week and a half, 2 weeks till full functionality of my knee again. But I've got bone bruising in my knee, which is going to take, there's going to be sensitivity and pain, likely for months. But I'll still be able to work out. All right, I'll be streaming for an hour and a half, an hour 40 minutes. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Safe travels. I'm just doing this to really warm up my shoulders. It's not the most efficient exercise. Capiture, Radita. Hey, good to see you. Glad you could drop by. You're taking off. Well, I appreciate you taking a minute to wish me well. I'm right back at you, buddy. Oh. I can feel my chest really activating more than normal because I've been doing a lot of bench. I've been basically, since my knee has been injured, I've been doing chest days and back days, like alternating. So I've been doing chest 2 to 3 times a week. I'm rocking this right now. It really helps the compression on the joint. but I'm not ready to lift with it yet. But right now, my main focus, I want to be better before Halloween. I'm hoping next weekend my leg will be good enough to do some light dancing on it. For Halloween, I want to do the Thriller choreography, and I'm planning to stream my practice of it next weekend. I'm going to turn on my music. It's pretty loud for me, even though it's muted for you guys. Yeah, I can really feel my chest activate. But I haven't been doing max benches. I've just been stopping at 275 pounds, but I've been going for hypertrophy. So like 275 pounds for a set of 8 feels good. Yeah, because I want to dance the flash mob, or not the flash mob, the choreography for Thriller. Then I want to post it on Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff. I haven't been on Facebook in several years now. Pop in, show people I'm still alive. I am going to do it as Michael Myers. I was sort of thinking about, like, I was asking, like, what would be best? Like, if I have the Michael Myers on with like my muscles showing, or whether it'd be better to have like I have a shirt that actually looks not like my arms will pop out and it's form fitting so I can see my V, but it's like underarm or something or other. But I think I'm gonna go with the classic. I'm gonna go with just the classic coveralls, and hopefully they'll be stretchy enough so I can like split my legs for the. There's a part where you jump and you do a star, and then you come down, right? I want to be able to not just do the Michael Jackson like the little jump. I want to jump, split my legs in the air, and then come down like powerfully. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with coveralls and then hope that I can actually dance in them, because they're pretty tight in some places. Yeah, me too. That's sort of what it's coming down to. It's going to be whether or not I feel up to it. And realistically, I would like to practice it next weekend. If I don't feel better, I'm not going to do it. But realistically, Halloween, whether my knee is better or not, I'm still going to do it. It's not like with the diagnosis I got, it's not like I'm really putting myself back or anything really. It's just the next day I might be sore. It's like the last day of October. When I did partner dancing, Halloween was my favorite day of the year because I'd party hop. I would go to, and not even that, like the way the dancing sort of work out is you might not be able to get the venue directly on Halloween. So it might be like the Saturday, like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend of Halloween. There's different Halloween parties, And so I would party hop. And then like Friday wear one costume, Saturday wear another costume, Sunday wear another costume. And I'd start at one party, end up at another party, and then go to like a house party at the end. And everyone's dressed up, everyone's dancing together. It's a lot of fun. It's just depending on your costume. Sometimes it gets really, really hot to the point where I'm like inside a mask, just like sweating, going ah. Or other times I dressed up so gruesome that no one wanted to dance with me because like you're trying to have a good time with somebody, and they're just like scary, right? So. All right, so I want to go a little bit harder today. I want to do some skull crushers. I want to do my lat pullovers. Um, I want to do something that involves the core more because without being able to do my legs, I haven't been able to do much for like there's been less stabilization of my core involved. And even when I've been bench pressing, I haven't been using leg drive. So I've been bench pressing with basically flat legs. Yeah, but here in Canada, sometimes like it's a hit and a miss what the weather is going to be like for Halloween. Sometimes it's been like minus 25 degrees Celsius, like 2 feet of snow outside. Other times there's no snow outside. You're walking around in light, um, like maybe like a little like sweater weather. My weights are coming apart on me. Yeah, I'm still able to do 275 pounds though. And I've switched up my MO too. For like the last couple months, when I've been bench pressing, it's been after an hour of chest hypertrophy. So my chest will be absolutely smashed, and then I'll get down on the bench press, and then I'll try to go. Whereas the last couple of weeks, I've been going into my bench pressing fresh. So like just lightweight, like I put a plate on each side, get the uh, get the form working for me, making sure I'm comfortable, making sure my shoulders are warmed up, and then quickly wrapping up the weights, and then I'm picking a weight that I can fail on around like 8 to 10 reps. And since I've been at the gym, I've got spotters. And I'll make sure, like for the most part, I'll get spotters there once I get to 275 pounds or more. Like if I'm at 225, I don't need spotters. It's just whatever. But 275, um, I've been a little bit tender in my chest just because I've been hitting it so hard that I I don't want that holding me back. And so when I first get there, I want to make sure just like I have a safety net. Um, but my last set for bench press, I've been going to failure every time. So okay, so I'll let them know I'm gonna fail this time, but I'm gonna let you know when I want when I want your help. Yeah, I've seen some videos from Carnival. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but all right. So I'm gonna bring out my back grips. These are one of my oldest gym friends right here. They have everything that you grab. They're designed to be easy to hold. But what that does is it takes the activation out of most of your arm, and so you can put it straight in your bicep. You open your hand and hold it here, you're straining right from the fingers through the wrist all the way to the forearm, right into the bicep. It's a great way to tax your forearms. At the same time, it's not something that you can do a lot of. So if you use back grips like twice a week, you're gonna start burning out your forearms. And you don't want anything like tendonitis. All right. Oh. Fire Nation Zuko, how's it going? I remember when Avatar first came out. Oh, it's basically revolutionary for something of that quality to come out of the West. When it came to the animation, oh, okay, oh. Ooh. After you use the fat grips, it's a struggle to make a fist after. Oh, sorry, I did 2 punches there. I failed. See, I was reading the manga for One Punch Man when it first came out. And what you don't realize is One Punch Man has only been popular relatively recently. It started off as a work by this by this new creator, and it was very rough. So it was like rough sketches, and they've got maybe 100 chapters of these rough sketches. Well, people started to really like it, and they proposed the guy to actually turn into a proper manga. So he went back and started making a manga of it, and the manga was following alongside so there's 2 mangas that are essentially coming out at the same time, and their storylines were almost the same, but a little bit different at certain points. Meanwhile, they were both still ongoing at the same time, where one was farther ahead than the other, and one was always just like the rough sketches. The other one was proper anime quality manga. And then years after that, they started turning it. They actually started the anime, except the manga of it had died for a long time. So this was spanning years, and all of a sudden the guy just stopped. And Werewolf, how's it going? I'm wearing my wearing a knee sleeve. But for the most part, I'm able to walk without a limp now. I really notice it when I'm walking on sidewalks, though. Sidewalks aren't actually flat. They're drained, or they're sloped for drainage. And when I'm walking on the sidewalk and it's my left leg that's injured, when I have to step lower for my left leg, I'm like limping to get all across the sidewalk. But if I'm walking the other way where the slope is up and I'm stepping up onto my left leg, I can walk just fine. I got in a fight with Mother Earth, and Mother Earth always wins. I got knocked off a boat. I fell 5 feet directly onto a boulder with my knee, and my leg was folded backwards with my kneecap that landed directly like that, right on the boulder, because the boat tipped at the back and it lifted me up. And so it lifted my one leg was off, my other leg was still on. And so I lifted my leg that was still on the boat up. And so that's how I went in the air and I landed directly on my knee. I went to the hospital. They took an ultrasound, took some X-rays. My knee's not broken, but I have I had a lot of tissue damage, and I actually have bone bruising. The tissue damage is like some sort of like patellar bursitis, and that is like a 3-week injury, like 3-4 weeks until I can start to train again. But it's hard to tell exactly how long it's going to be. Pretty much once I feel like I'm ready, I'm going to be able to start training my legs again. But the bone bruising is going to be sensitive. It's going to cause me pain for months to come. And what it feels like, if I just rub my hand over my skin like this, but on my knee, it feels like I have a cut right to the bone. And it feels like when I'm rubbing my hand over my skin, that I'm just rubbing over top of a deep cut. Except the skin on my knee is perfectly fine. You can't tell anything, except it's a little bit puffy from inflammation, but it's actually painful to touch. It took me 2 weeks before I could wear my knee sleeve because it was too painful to get over my foot. But now that the swelling's gone down, I've got some compression. This knee sleeve as well is also desensitizing me to that pain as well because it's not crushing because it's held in place, but it moves as one unit, and so it's moving the skin across my knee, and that's sort of desensitizing me to that constant pain that's like with every little brush. Yeah, that was it happened so fast, and I was very lucky I didn't break my leg. I was wearing hip waders, which were probably the only thing that saved me from breaking my kneecap. And that's a bad injury there. You don't want to break your kneecap. And I thought I did. I was like laying in the river. I started feeling around, seeing if there's any bones sticking out. But I really want my leg to be better for Halloween. I want to do the Michael Jackson's Thriller choreography as Michael Myers. And there are some parts that I can't do right now with my feet, with my knee the way it is. There's a couple of jumping parts, as well as bend. Actually, I don't think the jumping parts would be hard. There's some parts where you have to bend down. You have to like bend down and like tuck in. And I can't bend my knee I can bend my knee, but it takes time. I gotta move it, and I can't move my knee quickly. It's starting to get hot in here. I don't have the fan on. For some reason, the fan's been blowing off against the wall. I don't want to wait till Halloween 22. Lights basically been on hold for like getting on 2 years now. Year and a half. I'm really itching to get back into things, and it's especially hard right now because I'm watching all around me. People are starting to get back to their old routines, but I'm still choosing to social isolate for the most part, aside from my gym. But at my gym, I have a really nice gym where I never get within like 20 feet of anybody else, 20 and 30 feet of anybody else the whole time I'm there, unless I'm asking for a spot. We all wear masks the whole time. And oh, and that's the limit of the risk that I'm taking for myself. But they started to do in studio partner dancing again, lessons and social dancing. At least they're still wearing masks, as well as the people that typically tend to go there. Um, they do their partner dancing, but for the most part, they're social isolating and every other aspect of their lives. But they do that so that they can go partner dance and only interact with the same group of people every week, and they don't introduce very many new people to the collective. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming another hour and 20 minutes. That's the plan. I want to do some proper lifts today. Want to do skull crushers. Want to do, I was thinking of doing overhead presses, but I don't really feel like that because my chest and my shoulders are pretty taxed. Um, but I can still do my dumbbell lat pullovers. Those do affect the shoulder, but you stabilize. You don't really push, and your shoulders aren't flexing, and there's actually not a lot going on down there. You stabilize your shoulders, and it's like you sort of if you don't squeeze it, but you brace. Oh. See, even my last stream, I couldn't move my body as well as I can now. Right now, I can't really use my hips too much. Like I can use this hip, but because like hip, I gotta sort of go through like the way I have to transfer the weight. It puts a lateral torsion, lateral pressure on the knee, but I'm able to change my center of mass now. So I'm basically able to stand on both legs. Last time, if I were to dance, I'd have to stay on one leg, keep my other leg in the air. Oh, wait. It's been a good minute, hasn't it? It's just been the topic of the stream has been my knee. I'm a little bit injured, but I am improving rapidly, and maybe in another week I might be able to start training my legs again. Of course, I'm going to start. Light. I'm going to be very careful and diligent with what I do. Ooh. How are you doing today? This fine night. These are 35-pound dumbbells with fat grips. Sure doesn't make them feel like 35 pounds. They feel a lot heavier. Ooh. That's the nature of fat grips. Oh. I still have a little bit of difficulty putting down the weights. I'm actually like leaning like this. That's how I'm putting down my weights now. Ah, thank you. But I'm feeling positive. I'm hoping to next weekend to stream. I guess this weekend coming up. What's the date? The 19th is today. Yeah, so like the 23rd, I'm hoping to stream. Uh-oh, I hit something. I don't know what I hit. Things are opening up on my computer. Okay, hands off. Um, I'm hoping to stream my practice of the Michael Jackson choreography for Thriller. It's just I might have to go about it slow because of my knee, but I want to practice it because the 31st is like Halloween's the weekend after that, and I want to do it and record it. Steven Solers, how's it going? I've been doing a lot of since my leg has been busted up. I've been doing a lot of back and chest, just like alternating back and chest, and I can really feel my chest activation these days. I've been focusing a lot on bench. Get your mental health at the top of the priorities. Planting and dancing. Tell me more about this planting and dancing. I'm assuming they're not at the same time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be mutually exclusive. I remember for myself, my dad could never understand how I could play a game like Harvest Moon and spend hours building like pretend farms, but not want to spend my entire day gardening or working on a farm or something. And what's funny is the Thriller choreography, most iconic part, right? That only happens twice in the whole song. They got how's it work? It's like no, I can't even remember. All I remember is the and then there's the like there's a zombie walk, right? So there's one like slow walk and you go back and there's another slow walk where it's like twitch, or actually the fast walk you go like twitch, 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 and then you have your this might be difficult for me right now, but you especially with the left side you go chug, 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 and look back, and then start walking away, and then 1, 2, 3, and they got like I really don't remember so well, but I have it all. I have it all saved on my computer from previous Halloweens where I've actually learned the thing many years ago, and I'm hoping I do a good job of it. I hope I don't look like just like a bungling ape, but I think I'm gonna do it in my living room because I'm going to use the same setup I did when I had the last partner dancing stream. My last partner dancing stream, where the camera's set up, I was able to get a good view of everything. I had a nice long section where you could see my body from my toes to my head. That's going to be important. The Thriller dance actually does a lot of traveling. It goes back and forth, so there's a lot of traveling on it. So the dance itself, I'd be here traveling to about here. I think I want to switch up my gears here. I'll warm up my triceps, do some skull crushers. After my triceps are warm, oh, problem is, it's getting hot in here now, and I don't have a fan on me. And I only brought one fan in this room. There. That should help. Yesterday you planned a showcase powder filled with red mum. I only know what one of those are. No, I know what two of those are. Oh. What kind of dancing do you do? Have you taken any lessons, like hip hop? Is it solo? Is it just you're out in the field, you got some headphones on, and you're just I guess if you're in a field, you don't need headphones. So you just play the music as loud as you want. Get some nice Bluetooth speakers. Ooh. Judge J. What happened to my knee? I got knocked off a boat, 5 feet, landed directly on my kneecap on a boulder. Didn't break anything, but I've got bone bruising, and I have a week and a half, 2 weeks until I'm expected to have full functionality back with my legs, and I can start training them again. So I haven't done a leg day in like 2 weeks now, and it's making me a little bit stir crazy because I've been basically going back to back, chest day, chest day, back day, and my shoulders have been taking a beating, but I'm really feeling the activation in my chest. I can really easily feel a squeeze, particularly when I go to bench press. I was not drunk. I was working, and my coworker tipped the boat on me as I was getting out. He tipped the back end, and my end went up. And so I had one leg on, one leg off. It picked me up, and then I dropped outside the boat. Yeah, I can appreciate that. For myself, my interest in dance has, from when I first started till now, has been primarily in leading, having somebody to lead and have that connection where like I can do it with my eyes closed, I can feel their body and everything that's going on, whether the connection is like we can just be hand to hand. I can lead back to back. I can lead forehead to forehead. I can lead like get my shoulder on somebody. As long as we have that connection, I can transfer and lead them. But in the process, I learned to appreciate music. And like when I started out, I learned the moves, and I was so busy like leading things that the music almost took a back turn, and it was a while before. Like, and this is very common for all partner dancing, where the follows become well versed in musicality a lot easier to start because they have less to think about. Whereas with the lead, you're thinking about the moves you want to do, you're thinking about the space around you, and there's just a lot going on. So it takes a while before you get comfortable enough to actually listen to the music. And not just listen to the music, but even before you listen to music, you get used to listening to your partner first. And often where I would feel the musicality was when my partner would show me the way. I would like, it's not just like I'm leading, but it's still a conversation. And sometimes in my mind, I might have an idea for something, but my follow has another idea, and I'm like, you know what, your idea is better. Let's like take me away. So even though I'm leading, I'm still reacting to her. I'm reacting to music. I'm reacting to a bunch of other factors. All right. It wasn't done on purpose. The guy was just, it was the end of a 11-hour workday, and he was tired, and he got a little bit antsy. Meanwhile, I did most of the work because the guy was, he had a little bit of a sore back that day. Yeah, it was at work, so I went to the hospital. They filled out a workers' comp form and everything for me. But in the end, I didn't take any time off of work. I was still able to I was able to do exclusively computer work since then. It was the hard part is I go to the office and I have my own office. Well, for the first couple of days, I couldn't put my shoe on, and I remember going to the like I could not put my shoe on, and like I just couldn't do it. So I drove to work with one shoe on, and I get to the office, and our secretary, I just call her, come here for a second. And so she like comes over very conspiratorially. It's like, well, what are we talking about? Like, I need your help for something. I can't put my shoe on. Can you put it on for me? And she looks at me, really? I'm like, yeah, I can't put it on. And meanwhile, she's like a mother of four, so I figured she'd be well practiced and she wouldn't rat me out to my other coworkers. But I was a little bit embarrassed. Yeah, so, sounds fun in theory. The practice of coming into work with a wheelchair sounds like a pain in the butt. I was already at the hospital till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I showed up at work the next morning at 8. But when I showed up at the office, the cleaners were there, and I've pulled enough late nighters at the office that I've gotten to know the cleaners over the years. And me, I like talking with anybody, right? So like they come in and we're like chatting, like how like they're it's a company run by a Filipino family, and there's like the one guy is like 60 with his 60-year-old wife who helps them, but then they got his like sister there, and then sometimes they also have a cousin that comes and helps them out. Um, where the lowest age I think is like 45. Um, but they watched me hobble in, and then I basically dropped the vehicle off and then took off to the hospital. I'm like, I think I broke my leg. I'm out of here. I'm not talking to you guys today. And I forgot they were there for that. Well, yesterday I was at the office a little bit late, and they came by and like, oh, how's the knee? Like, is it broken? What's going? I'm like, oh, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Bone bruise. I'm wearing a knee sleeve right now. The knee sleeve actually really helps with the compression. Yeah. I'll get myself into trouble sometimes too because I have a lot of relationships where as long as it's funny enough, then it's okay, I guess. Like it's like yeah, we'll do some things where we'll like I'll play around a little bit, and then somebody might get hurt sometimes. Often it's me, but it's like okay, well we were just playing around, and that's what we get. I got my nose broken once because I was leading something, and then the person who was we were like I was playing around with somebody, we are being silly, but we are leading and following, and she decided to do the opposite of what I did, and what that did is that brought her head into my nose, and I was like, okay, well at least you can break my glasses. All right, so I'm gonna do my skull crushers. I'm gonna grab oh my god, I'm gonna grab my easy grip bar. Let's see if I can set myself up for this. Maybe I'll stick it here. Let's just get the angle first. Oh, seems good. Maybe I want to change the angle a little bit so I'm out this way. Let's do that. Oh, I'll start with 50 pounds and whatever the bar weighs. Yeah, I am eternally a kid at heart. And I've met a lot of good people over my years. I've also met a lot of people, a lot of hateful people, and it's just, I don't know, I don't have the energy for that, right? Like I'm an adult. I can choose who to spend my time with and what kind of trouble I get myself into. Oh my knee. I'm not sure if I'm entirely happy with that angle. How I'm working around leg days. All right, so there's a delay in my camera. I figured out how to fix that, but I'm gonna have to there. Oh crap, there's still a delay in my camera. One, one. It's not that bad. Hi Faye, how's it going? I'm discussion of the day, my knee, but I'm improving rapidly, and I hope to be being my good old silly, good-natured self again come next weekend, prancing around doing some dance choreography. Um, Let me know if there's any discrepancy between my sound and my lips. Because what I'm seeing right now on my feed is that my camera is actually lagging by a fraction of a second. And I want to know if that's doing that for you guys too. I got a new camera, an Elgato face cam. It's supposed to be a good option out there. And it does not go out of focus like my last one, but I've seen from my perspective, it has lagged every once in a while. All right, so if it's not for you guys, I'm happy. I was actually particularly enunciating my words so that you could see my lips. All right, so I'm gonna add on another 20 pounds. I don't think I have the weights ready. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to dismantle my dumbbells. Let's go here. But as for my leg days, I've basically been doing a ton of back and a ton of chest workouts. So my shoulders are pretty well fatigued right now. And I've been taking breaks as necessary because I didn't work out for probably like 4 days. Like when I got injured, I took a complete 4-day rest. Didn't lift the damn thing. And then since then, I've basically been rotating back and chest days with focus on specific exercises so I don't really burn myself out. So it is lagging. Yeah, I know. I took 4 days off. I didn't know what to do with myself. I am going to try. Give me 1 sec. I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm just going to try this. Hello. Still doing it. Oh well. What time is it? I still got 50 minutes left to work out. But it's been a long time since I've actually really focused on bench press, and I can really feel my chest activation. Like my mind to muscle chest connection right now is like off the wall. Oh, my knee. Oh, where is it? How's that? You can see me? Good. Oh. Oh. All right, let's add on another 20 pounds. Yeah, dead center in the middle of Canada. Although I guess technically where I grew up 500 kilometers north of that, northern Manitoba, and now it's actually probably in the center of Canada. But nobody lives up there, so. I grew up in a town with less than 300 people living in it. Yeah, and it's there's a heavy Aboriginal community up there, and growing up, I actually faced a fair amount of discrimination for being like the white man. And when you're a kid, you don't like I don't know what that was about. I just knew that these like a lot of people just didn't like me and hated me, and I was like, you know, I'm a kid who's trying to make friends with everybody, and it wasn't the kids who would treat me like that. But like we were all kids, and like my three best friends were Aboriginal, and I was quite surprised when I like went to their places and saw like a difference in living conditions between my place and their place, particularly because it was my mother, my sister, and myself. But for them, it was like their mother, and then they had like 7 siblings living in the same type of accommodations that I was living in, but with like 5 extra kids. The place gets torn up, and then I saw this with a lot of people where like we were all just kids, and we would go play, we'd get into all the trouble any other kids would grow up into. But then I saw a lot of my friends, like I don't want to say like turn bad, but they got into things that were like they changed as they grew up, and a lot of it had to do with alcohol, and it was heartbreaking. Yeah. Well, see, everybody knows everything about anyone in that town, and by that I mean everybody knows my mother. So I don't know everybody who's up there, and they don't know me, but they all know my mother. Um, and when I first moved up there, my mother did not have a good reputation. She had come from the city, and so she ran away. She basically kidnapped me from my dad. They had split custody, and then one day my mother told me to when you go into school, tell your teachers that you're not going to be going there anymore. So I was in grade. I just started grade 2 at the time, and I walked in, told the teachers, "Oh, we're moving. I'm not going to be around anymore." And at the time, I didn't understand what was going on and why my teachers were so alarmed. But then after school, she took us. We moved 500 kilometers up north. My dad had to hire a private investigator to find us, and my mother had told the entire town that she had ran away from an abusive husband who had like warrants out for his arrest and this and that. And so when my dad finally found us, uh, the police took him to the sheriff or whatever, and I don't know if it was a sheriff, but I like the it more or less might as well have been, but small town police took him to the station, and then they found out that my mother in fact lied about everything. So then the whole town found out that my mother had lied about everything. So that's strike one, and then strike two. She went from the city where she was like dating a different guy every like 2 weeks. Well, when you move to a small town, you can't do that anymore. And so that was the reputation she got. Yeah, the discrimination's like racism's like it's just all around bad. Like it's like there's led to so many genocides throughout our history, and there's genocide still ongoing right now, and it's destructive, not productive. But for all we know, it's in our. All right, I got an ad on my music. I'm gonna wait till I get the next song, and then I'm gonna go. Like, what's my next song gonna be? Something with energy, please. I don't want to get up. Good enough. If I good enough, I mean barely past it. Oh. Oh, what's funny though is probably the worst racism I've ever felt. And I know I'm white. I shouldn't be complaining about racism or say like maybe they'll call it discrimination or whatever. I'm not. I don't know what technology or man, my brain is frying. I don't know what terminology I should be using, but several years ago, I got ambushed by a gang of Aboriginals who were looking to fuck up somebody who was white. And they came like they had one guy who was a decoy. I had just ran around basically the whole city. So I went for a jog. I started minding the city, ran to the university, ran downtown, ran to work, started running the whole way back, and I was passing by an underpass, and they have the concrete pillars. Well, that I was running, that I was going to run up to and then pass, and this guy came up and ran behind me and punched me in the back of the head. But because I was running forward and he was running with me, he didn't really get a good blow. He sort of just I sort of went with it, and I turned around ready like what the fuck, and then out of the corner of my eye, I see 11 to 12 Aboriginal men come out behind a pillar holding broken beer bottles and knives, and I'm like, okay, there's like almost half a dozen guys here, one guy here. So I went through the one guy who punched me in the back of the head, and I was muscular at the time, so this wasn't when I was skinny. And in my I was thinking really, really quickly, and I was ready to the guy who was in front of me. I was ready to kill him. Where he was wearing baggy clothes, and I was wearing very skin tight clothes. But if he was able to get a hold of me, I was gonna grab him and then throw him. Like there was like a 5 foot high concrete barrier between us and traffic, and the traffic is just going nonstop, and it's like 60 kilometers an hour. I was gonna grab the guy, pick him up, and throw him over top of the 40 over the 4 foot or over the 5 foot barrier into traffic, but he didn't, and so instead I grabbed him, I threw him into the barrier, and I kept running. And meanwhile, I pulled my phone. I'm being chased by this gang, and I'm like calling 911. And meanwhile, I don't have much energy left in the tank because I just ran for a couple hours, and I end up running out into the middle of the street, turning around, and then I like putting up my hands to fight, and then they just all stood at the other side of the road, cursing at me and all that. Raid. Okay, no, it hasn't come yet, but Gentleman Lifter, how's it going? I'll get into more uplifting topics here. I just went into story time about my youth here. Oh wow, that's a raid, 12 people. Thank you for the raid. I'll stand up here. You'll see I'm dealing with a little bit of a knee injury, but that doesn't stop me from coming out. I just can't do any leg days right now. But because of that, I've basically been doing chest and back days back to back. But how are you guys all doing tonight? I appreciate the rain. I'm thankful for everybody who's come out and joined me on my journey to get a little bit stronger every week. You guys have really made my home workouts enjoyable again. I'm happy to share this time with you guys. I'm going to do some more skull crushers. What is it? I think the bar weighs 15 pounds, and then I got 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So I have 90 pounds on here, plus the bar. I'm just going to bang this one out really quick. How's the view? Good enough. I'm going to do dumbbell lat pullovers next. Okay. I got my music playing here, but my camera or my computer automatically filters it out, so I don't have to worry about my streams being muted or DMCA'd after. Let me get caught up in. Hey, it's been a while. And this not a garden implement. I'm glad you were. Yeah, I've been letting it grow in. I have inspiration here, although I don't think I'll ever have as quality of a beard as my friend here. I want to get caught up in chat. Clarkos 139, how's it going? I can't quite see what that emote is. It's a little bit hard to see. It looks like somebody's just flexing. I've been doing a lot of bench. I can really feel my chest popping. Oh. Yeah, that's a good question. I need incentive, I guess. But the entire pandemic, I've actually been a lot busier than I've been actually letting on with my work, which was very interesting because the pandemic first hit. Nobody knew what was going on, and so suddenly we were working with a very small amount of staff members, and everyone's picking up the slack. Well, once things started to get settled, we suddenly got bombarded with tons of work, and now we're just constantly hiring new staff, but we're all still just working quite hard. Once winter comes, then work is gonna ease off a little bit. Except last winter was an exception. I don't know. I'm gonna do one more set of skull crushers, then I'm gonna do my dumbbell lat pullovers. But like what I'll say, life is complicated. People have their own perspectives, but so much of I want ideology that brings us together and is solution orientated, as opposed to stuff that is coming from, say, like a place of like anger, or like anger can be justified one way or another, but life is never just black or white. It's complicated. If it was simple, we'd have all the answers already, and people would just stop arguing. Yeah, thanks for the lurk. Well, how's my back look today? I feel a little bit less lean than normal. I've been moving less, eating more. NYC, the bridge. I will check that out after the stream. 25 viewers. That's been a while since I've hit that. Appreciate everyone who's come out. All right, more skull crusher time, and then I'll move on. Yeah, I had Stream Soundtrack working for a couple streams where I could play music where you guys would be able to hear it live, but then it would filter it out for the bots. But then it broke, and I've spent way too many hours trying to fix it to no avail, to the point where I think I'm gonna have to give up on Streamlabs if I ever want to do it. All right, next set. Like, it's actually surprisingly difficult just for me to get this leg bent. It doesn't bend easy. There's a lot of resistance. Oh. Whew. Oh. Yeah, thanks for the well wishes. May you sleep well, and then have all the energy you need to attack tomorrow with as much energy as you need, ferocity, or whatever rocks your boat. Are you still around, Miss Not a Garden Implement? How have you been? When was the last time I It feels like it's been a while. I think you were there for my dancing stream, weren't you? I did a partner dancing stream a while back. It was a lot of fun. I wanted to set up another one right away, but then the partner I brought with me, she got sick, and then now I'm broken. I say, yeah, I got rated. The streamer is Gentleman Lifter. He's a power lifter with his claim to fame is one, lifts a crap ton of weight. Two, got a fantastic beard. I'm feeling my triceps pop, but I think I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna get myself set up for my dumbbell lat pullovers right now. And to do that, I'm just gonna have to set up a dumbbell. I'll start with probably, I don't know, 50 pounds, work my way up to 100. Oh. I'm really afraid of banging my knee on anything. I don't want to be whimpering on stream. But yeah, Gentleman Lifter, he's also a father. So there's a lot of people he connects to on that front. And from what I can gather, he's a damn good one at that. All right, yep, let's get my easy grip bar on here. Try not to bang the walls. Come on, Neil. All right, so how do I want to do this? Oh, my. That seems to work. A little warm-up set. Try not to stick myself with the bar. Around the threaded ends. Oh. All right. I figure I'll add 35 pounds to this. I might want to change the angle. Great list. Today is just I want to throw in exercises that are also going to use a little bit more core, but I am just taxing off whatever I feel I can right now, because by and large, my chest, a lot of my chest group muscles as well as my back muscles are quite taxed because I can't train legs, so I've been compensating with more upper body stuff, and so I'm doing a little bit of a mixed match today. And I ended up working too late, today to be able to catch the gym. So today is mostly about showing up, having fun, but not taking it too easy either. There we go. Well, I can't help myself. Once I start streaming, next thing you know, it's 2.5 hours, and but since the pandemic, or rather at the gym, I've been doing an hour and a half workout slots because you actually have to book the slots so that they can keep themselves below the capacity that they want. But recently they've been moving up to 2 hours. So I've been working out for 2 hours almost every day and getting a fair amount of hypertrophy in. I'm feeling myself really growing both size and strength since July. But I'm well conditioned for this type of exercise. But I realize you don't get everything you need out of like a 45-minute workout if you push yourself hard enough. All right. I'm trying to remember which way I gotta get this thing up. I never remember. I want to get this thing up here. Okay, this way. And then I'll not stick myself with the threaded end, get it on my lap, come down, thrust it up, and go. I want to be able to grab this with my hands because it's got a nice handle here. So I feel nice and strong. There we go. Try to get this thing off me without aggravating my knee. I have done a backflip. But I'm not at the point where I can just pull it off. I spent so I'll watch Juji Mufu, and he has several videos on YouTube where he explains his process behind how he teaches people how to do a backflip. And so then I watched the videos, I took notes, I wrote down everything I wanted for the various flips. Then I went to a trampoline park, and it took me a good 2 hours to build up the nerve to try it once, because it was just scary, right? You get his nerves, and so I did it on a trampoline, but without a bounce. I went on the trampoline and just jumped on it, and then promptly landed right in my face. And then so eventually I'm like, I was like, I wasn't committing because there was this level of fear in there. So like the person I went with, I'm like, okay, put the video camera on me. And so she videotaped me. Bam, right away I got it, because I'm I don't know. I'm a show off, and so as soon as that camera's on me, I just did it. And then I later that day, I went and I was practicing it on the ground, and that was a little bit more painful, but I got it. But I never sort of embedded it in my body. That was something that I did once, but then stuff came up in my life, and I had to put it on hold. And I tend to go back to it. I can almost do the splits. Before the backup, I want to be able to do a proper handstand. I can do a headstand, no problem. I can show that off if you want. I do a lot of calisthenics work. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get the camera a little bit better. This may or may not be difficult because I don't just fling myself up. I want to lift myself with my core, but I'm stable. I'm bracing from my toes right to my trunk, and I might have difficulty bracing throughout my leg, but we'll see. Let's warm up my wrist first. That's a good idea. I always forget. See, calisthenics isn't too easy for me because I weigh a lot more. I can't bend down on this knee, so I'm like, I'll go. All right, so I'm 190 pounds. A lot of the stuff I do is tailored to people who are like 150 pounds. I'm 190 pounds. I can do one-arm pull-ups. I could do one-arm pull-ups when I was 230 pounds. It was just pain. Like the heavier you are, just to hang on the bar with one hand, it hurts the hands. It's just the nature of being a certain weight. Yeah, so this is hurting my leg. So that was a little bit painful, but nothing I couldn't handle. But I've been trying to learn how to do a handstand, but I'm having a hard time with my center of mass because I don't want to just jump. I don't want to just like fling my legs up over top of my center of mass and then, hey, look, I'm in a handstand. I want to be on the ground. I want to put my hands there. I want to pick my hips up with my core and then have my legs follow. But with my center of mass, or at least with the instructional videos I'm following, I think my legs I have more mass in my legs than the people showing off how to perform the handstands. So when I get myself into the same positions that they are, I have more center of mass away from me. So as I'm picking myself up, my hips up with my core, I'm constantly falling over. So I'm going to have to, I think, look up some other guides on how to account for that and what I should be doing to mitigate that. I'm actually a little bit less lean than I was 2 weeks ago, since I haven't been doing 2 leg days a week. as well as I've been letting myself eat a little bit more, indulging myself. Thanks for the compliment. KDDW1224. What does that stand for? Is there an acronym behind that? I see KD. I think craft dinner. That's what I grew up on as a kid. The diet I'm on right now, I like being full. So to be able to eat a lot of volume of food and still be lean, I'm just focusing on eating more high-filling, low-calorie foods. January 2020, I switched up my diet. Before, like I like my whole foods. I like my meat, my vegetables, my rice. I could go off broccoli, chicken, and rice for a long time and enjoy myself. So I'm lucky in that. But January 2020, I've been eating more pleasure type foods with emphasis on low calorie, high filling. So desserts made out of egg whites. I make my own protein ice cream. I make my own protein pudding. I make French toast that's like 90% egg whites. I still have my vegetables, still eat my meat, but something that you can eat a lot of volume and not have a ton of calories, like strawberries. If I want to have a snack, like you get cravings. The downside of my new diet is I now have a sugar tooth. I cut myself completely off all like sugar drinks for years. I started training. I used to drink several liters of pop a day, cut myself off cold turkey, drank nothing but water for years. Water and then my protein shakes, which I don't have after a workout. And now I have a sweet tooth, but how I'll satisfy that for the most part, you need quick food that's around. I'll grab strawberries or some sort of fruit. 1 pound of strawberries, 150 calories. You can basically eat as much strawberries as you want, and you're never really going to gain too much weight on it before you actually get sick of them. Do I stretch before I work out? I don't. There is downsides to, like, I might do some mobility stuff, but typically my warm-up, I might go on the bike for 5 minutes just to warm up my body, but then I'll warm up with lower weights, get the muscles going. It depends on what type of exercise I'm doing. If I want to go to failure, like if I want to go heavy and I want to go to failure, I'm going to warm up by doing maybe with half the weight for a set of 20. And then I'll go like 75% of the weight for a set of 15. And then I'll give myself like plenty of breaks in between. And then, okay, now I'm going like 90% of max weight for a set of 10. And I'm failing and I go 100%. And then you're pretty taxed and you got to move on. When you go to failure, you don't have very many sets in the tank. Yeah, but the thing is, I like water. When you drink only water, you realize that water actually has taste. And I'm like a little gourmet when it like a little like prima donna when it comes to my water. I choose my water sources very specifically for what tastes good, as opposed to ones that don't. But so back to stretching before you work out. The problem with stretching before you work out is that your body, your nervous system has basically memorized your motor patterns. Like when you're picking something up off the ground, you don't think, okay, now I hinge here, now I activate this, now my glutes are activated, now I come down all the way up, and this is what you do. You don't think every different muscle working in concert. You just know, okay, bend down, pick something up off the ground. Your body, your nervous system gets that mind-muscle connection, and that mind-muscle connection is based off like the state of your body that you're used to doing it in. And if you stretch, suddenly you might have more range of motion, and it can throw off the motor patterns. So it's a better, like it's not really awful, like it's not, for the most part it might not hurt you too much, but there's issues with why I don't stretch typically before a workout. I'll stretch in the morning when I wake up. I'll stretch before I go to bed. And then once a week, I'll do like an hour stretching routine. If anything, I'm more likely to foam roll before I work out. Um, you want to, well, see, there's strength and then there's muscle. Two different philosophies. The muscle philosophy, which is like bodybuilding philosophy, build the muscle first, strength will follow. Then there's like the strength training, which is like powerlifting. You build, you train the nervous system, and then the muscle will follow. Where if you want to build muscle, it comes down to hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is the stimulus that initiates muscle growth. You need protein to have like building blocks to build bigger muscle, but you need the hypertrophy to actually have your muscles initiate growth. And then it comes down to as much volume of hypertrophy as you can get, not over one workout, not over a week, but over like a month, over 6 months, over a year. And the more volume of hypertrophy that you get in, the bigger your muscles are going to grow. And it comes down to like as you get stronger, you have to try harder to you're gonna have to have sets that you're pushing yourself near failure. Whereas with strength training, you're primarily focusing on getting more muscle fibers involved. So like as opposed to expanding the cross-sectional area, you get more muscle fibers involved that help in the lift. But I spent a fair bit of time talking here. I'm gonna go back to my dumbbell lat pullovers here because I got a little bit. I can talk all day. I think I'm well suited for this streaming thing. But when it comes down to the type of programs you want to use to build a good upper body, compound lifts are the most effective, the most efficient. You involve many muscle groups at once. Like you're doing a bench press, you're doing like pulling exercises. You're getting your core strong at the same time. You're doing squats, deadlifts. But you want the size, like you're gonna go further longer if you train your primarily your bigger muscle groups, like your back, your chest, your legs, as opposed to say focusing on arms. There's only so much your arms will grow right away, and then it becomes a slow grind. But when it comes down to how you should be working out, there are many great training programs out there, and it comes down to the one that you enjoy, the one that works for you, and the one that you can see yourself following. Because it comes down to you got to be consistent with it, because that's how you're going to get the most volume in over a year. But when it comes down to, so there's one aspect of building muscle I forgot to mention, which is recovery. So you get the hypertrophy, and by you're tearing down the muscle tissue, but then it needs to recover bigger, stronger, faster, all that stuff. And if you're training too hard and you aren't recovering properly, you're still going to build muscle, but it's not going to be as efficient as it could be. So when it comes down to how often you should be training out one individual muscle group a week, the science says either 2 to 3 times, and there's not really a better answer. This one here is better than the other. It comes down to how hard you're training and how hard you're recovering. If you're training one muscle group and you're sore for a week afterwards and you can't train it again, fully recovered for an entire week, then you're training too hard, and you should likely ease off a little bit. But at the same time, if you only have time to train once a week, maybe that's something you choose to do. All right. Next set. going to add more weight next time. So I'm only going to add on 10 pounds, and that'll be enough. Except I can't get the threads off. I have tools for that. This thing is stuck. Dang. Come on, you. I don't think it's ever been stuck that bad before. Well, I can't get it off. I'll hit another one. Damn it, it's stuck. Well, I think that's a sign. I don't really think that, but I'm annoyed. Yeah, I hope that could help. And then just be aware, right, that you're going to see if you haven't been training, you're going to see most of your growth in the first 6 months to 1 year. But keep in mind, if you train till you're like not feeling good, train till you're injured. If you're injured, you're not training anymore. But after about a year, it starts to peter off. Where if you're training naturally, it takes about 4 years of like optimal training to hit your peak genetic potential, or like 99% of it. That's sort of what the science shows. And without putting in at least like 1 year of like dedicated training, it's hard to really tell how blessed you are genetically when it comes to putting on muscle. Because genetics does play a role, but like people can get a lot bigger than they think they can. But like for myself, I'll never be on like a Mr. Olympia stage. And what is it? What's that saying? How's that saying go? Comparison is the thief's joy. Yeah. I'm just gonna abandon this dumbbell. I can't get it off. Oh. I think that's gonna be it for my training for today. I'll see if there's anyone on that I know that I can share the love here. All right. So there's this woman here, female bodybuilder. She's not training right now though, so I think I'm gonna send you to. Yeah, there's this woman who she's currently getting ready for a competition with her boyfriend bodybuilder as well. So they're both like cutting and doing this together. It's good thing to watch here. But I'm gonna see who else is on. Um, all right, so I'm gonna send you to yoga here. Yoga seems like all right. I like being able to see the striations in my shoulder. Well, thank you everybody for coming out. I imagine some of you are still here from Gentleman Lifter, probably lurking the whole time, but appreciate the lurk as well as the raid that I got. Always appreciated. Thanks for chatting with me, and it's been fun, but I am going to start preparing for bed. So have a good night, everybody.